The Haunted House of Shaman. The most terrifying places in the world are not those ancient castles or dark forests you read about in fairy tales. Sometimes the scariest places can be found in the most ordinary of settings, like your own home. Just ask the new owner of this home. He had no idea that when he bought his dream house, he also purchased a ticket to hell. What he didn't realize was that his new house was the scene of one of the biggest mysteries in recent history, and now he was sharing it with the ghost of a young woman who may still be looking for answers. Welcome to the House of Shaman. This is the story of Amanda Eller, a high school senior from Maui, Hawaii. Born in 1982, she grew up on the picturesque Hawaiian island and attended the local high school where she was popular with her peers and well-liked by her teachers. She was just an average teenager who enjoyed surfing, going out with her friends and planning for life after graduation. But in June of 1999, her whole world would come crashing down. She had been missing for 2 weeks when her mother, who had always worried about her daughter going out at night alone, finally filed a missing persons report with the police. It was out of character for Amanda to go so long without calling her family. Even if she was angry at them, something must have happened to her. So her mom decided it was time to do something before it was too late. But what the police soon discovered would make this case one of the strangest disappearances in American history. There was no sign of a struggle at Amanda's home, and her car was still parked in the driveway. Her wallet and cell phone were still in the house, and all of her personal belongings were still in her bedroom. But something was definitely off. Her bed was neatly made, but the curtains were drawn. The TV was on, but there was no sound. And the front door was unlocked, even though Amanda never went anywhere without locking it. This wasn't like her at all. Where could she be? After combing through every inch of Amanda's room, the police started asking questions around the neighborhood, and they discovered something strange. There had been a party at Amanda's house the night she disappeared. Some of her friends had been invited over to watch a movie. And when the party broke up around 10:30 p.m., everyone left without seeing Amanda. They thought she had gone to sleep, but obviously she hadn't. Did she leave the house and get into an accident? Was she kidnapped, or did something terrible happen during that party? The police wanted to know. They searched everywhere, but all they came up with was more questions. When they returned to the house to search again, they noticed something they hadn't seen before: a small amount of blood near the back door. Further inspection revealed that the door had been forced open from the outside, and it became clear that whatever had happened to Amanda, it had happened at home. But how did the police find out? What had happened to Amanda? To answer that question, they needed to look into her past and find out what secrets she was keeping. As it turned out, Amanda had been keeping a few secrets. During their investigation, the police learned that Amanda had gotten into an argument with some older boys at the party the night she disappeared. One of the boys had recently been arrested on drug charges, and when the police searched his house, they found a small amount of drugs and paraphernalia that linked him directly to Amanda's disappearance. Could this be the break the police needed to solve the case? Or was the prime suspect just trying to throw them off the scent? For the next few days, the police followed the prime suspect and waited for him to slip up. And eventually, he did. He tried to buy some cleaning supplies, and when the store owner asked him why he needed so much bleach and garbage bags, he became nervous and ran away. Now officially a person of interest in the case, he quickly became the #1 suspect when the police found traces of Amanda's DNA in his car. But despite having a mountain of evidence against him, the police couldn't pin him for the crime. He had an airtight alibi. Other than buying cleaning supplies, he had spent the entire time with his parents who could vouch for his whereabouts. Unfortunately, this would be the last lead the police would follow. As the months went by, they seemed to hit dead end after dead end, and the case went cold. Amanda's family continued to search for answers on their own, but even 20 years later, they still don't know what happened to her. All they know is that something terrible happened in that house on the night of June 1999, and they are determined to find out the truth. But sometimes the truth is better left buried. The house. Today, the house on the corner of McCalla Way is just an ordinary house. It looks like any other house in the neighborhood, but behind its walls are hiding some very disturbing secrets. In the bedrooms, boarded-up windows stare blankly out into the street. A basketball hoop hangs crookedly on the driveway, and overgrown grass snakes through the cracks in the sidewalk. It doesn't look like much, but to anyone who knows its history, it's a place to stay away from. That's because the house is haunted by the ghost of Amanda Eller, the high school girl who disappeared in 1999. Or maybe it's not a ghost at all. Maybe Amanda is still alive and hiding somewhere, trapped inside the house forever. People have reported hearing chains dragging metal moans coming from inside the house. Footsteps echo across the empty driveway, and disembodied voices whisper on the wind. Some people even claim to have seen a white van driving slowly around the block, the same van that Amanda was last seen getting into. And the mystery doesn't end there. If you visit the house today, you might notice that there is no electricity or running water. The house has been abandoned for years, but lights can often be seen flickering inside. Windows, although boarded up, occasionally show signs of movement, and the front door, which should be locked, often stands wide open. Some people even say they've seen Amanda's ghost standing at the window watching them, but the ghosts aren't the only thing haunting this house. That's because the house itself is haunted by tragedy. After Amanda disappeared, her family put the house up for sale, but it sat on the market for years without a single offer. Finally, it was sold to a developer who planned to tear it down and turn it into a parking lot. But as soon as construction began, strange things happened. Workers claimed that tools went missing and mysterious scratches appeared on their arms and legs. The construction had to be halted until a priest came and performed an exorcism. Even then, the house refused to be tamed. When a new owner finally moved in, he started experiencing strange phenomena. Objects would move from one room to another overnight. Doors would slam shut without warning. And he would hear footsteps pounding on the stairs, even though he was the only person in the house. At first, he tried to ignore these occurrences, chalking them up to stress or an overactive imagination. But as time went on, the activity became more frequent and more intense. One day, while exploring the attic, he came across a hidden diary that belonged to Amanda. As he read through her final entries, he felt a sense of unease wash over him. He realized that he wasn't alone in the house. There was a presence here, a spirit that was trying to communicate with him. From that moment on, he knew he had to find out what happened to Amanda and put her restless spirit to rest. But the more he learned about the house's tragic history, the more he realized that some secrets are best left buried. Today, the house on McCalla Way remains abandoned. Although it's been put up for sale several times, no one has ever made an offer. Perhaps the potential buyers are scared off by the house's dark past, or maybe they can sense the evil that lingers within its walls. Whatever the reason, the house continues to stand empty, a silent witness to the horrors that unfolded within its walls. As for Amanda, her ghost continues to roam the halls, searching for answers and closure. Some say she's still waiting for someone to find her, to bring her home. Others say she's trapped in the house forever, doomed to wander the halls for eternity. But one thing is for sure. If you ever see a house for sale in Hawaii with peeling paint and overgrown weeds, be careful. You might be stepping into the House of Shadows.